What you're currently looking at right now is a few pictures I took with 3 of my older fish tanks, and very first. Especially the triangular one that's put away on a shelf, versus these 2 on a different shelf. So, take a look at them. There's only 2 of these types, and the triangular one, there's only 1 of those, which is my oldest one that's actually support a few fish. Which all of these, which support a fish, they unfortunately... Well, unfortunately, they all unfortunately died. So, the good news is I got a whole new, much bigger aquarium, and I just wanted to show you guys what's going on right now with it. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I just wanted to show you some new fish. So, I've always had betta fish, like always. So, this is actually very new to me. Keep in mind that a tank like this, you're not going to be able to see it because it's, it's dark, but see right there? Like, it's a really small tank compared to this big aquarium-sized tank. It's not like the biggest of them all, but it's like still fairly big compared to what I have. It's actually, if you actually were face-to-face with it, it's actually not that big. It's a small aquarium, but it's still aquarium-sized. It's like much bigger to what I'm usually used to with the little tanks. It's a huge changer right there. So, you see here, this is, well, obviously you guys know what it is. It's thermometer, and this is another one too, if you're wondering what that is, and that's because I need to watch the heater, because it has a heater in there, it has a filter pump. They've always had, well, these ones we had to buy the heaters separately, but for the most part, they've had heaters most of the time as well, of their own. This one's a brand new one, you see in there. And it's a much bigger filter. I just changed it out recently as well. But this is my little fishy friends. Zoom in on these guys. Those are little tetras, but I call them the ghost gang. And if you see it, these ones, can't exactly remember what they're called, like naturally, but, or like what they're originally, what people usually call them, but they are, I just call them the salmon club. The little salmon troops. There's 4 of them, and then there's 3 of the tetras, and I know what you're gonna say, because I actually have a samurai betta fish in there. His name's Ninja. And I know what you're gonna say. Isn't the betta gonna attack them all? Well, no, unless it's one of his own species. These are apparently fish betta won't attack. And it's true. It's actually true. Like, there he is right now, just minding his own business, and see this guy? That's Gary the Snail. See him right there? That's Gary the Snail, and it's actually, I found out it's a female because I actually ended up getting 2 snails because they had a baby snail, and I named that one Turbo. I just named it Turbo for whatever reason, so it's just funny little names. Oh, and that's George Bush right there. I named sea plants George Bush for whatever reason. And where did there's another fish. Where did he go? He was around here somewhere. Let me find him. Okay, so we'll probably see him in a minute, but I have to guess he's hiding in one of these natural rocks. Yes, they're real rocks. They're sea rocks for the most part. Like rocks that were, naturally for fish life. The baby snail, I have no idea where it went. It likes to hide around these areas and plants. And you can see that it looks kind of beat up. I have to only imagine if it's eating the living plants while hiding in the fake blue plants, the plasticky ones. Hopefully the sea plants will grow faster than they get eaten. But there's a bumblebee looking one in there, and I had 2 of them. Unfortunately, one died. I don't know why, but he was swimming one just fine, and then one day he just looked weak and then just did. But there's another one, he seems to be doing okay. He doesn't need a school. By that I mean like a troop of fish. I think he's hiding in one of the rocks right now, but he looks like a bumblebee. And when there was 2 of them, I just called them the bee's knees gang or something like that, but now I just named it that one, that only one in the tank now. There's only one in the tank now, and I'm just calling him Bee's Knees by himself. Just, I don't know. Why not? I mean, if there's only one in there, might as well have the name instead of the whole gang. It's sad, but he has a name now. He's not going to be confused. Or not known. Yeah. Put a few fish in there, a snail. Eventually I might get a little sucker fish. There's... Why don't I show you guys what I feed them? I feed them, like, little flakes. Get in the light here. They're like little flakes. This is what the little mini... Sorry about that. Okay, so the little fish eat the flakes, and my beta eats little freeze-dried, small, tiny little shrimps. I mean, I think they are, but picture of what they look like, but I'm not going to actually open it up. There's little mini algae wafers for the snail. And eventually, if we get a sucker fish, assuming they call them something else, but I don't know. This is the filters. I have a couple of them in there still. This filter needs to be changed a lot more often than I used to run the small filters. The smaller filter pumps, the filters didn't get dirty as often, even though they're in small tanks. There's only one fish in each of them. And even the other one didn't have a filter pump. Instead it had an air pump. So a completely different type of pump, but yeah, so okay, I'm sorry about that. So the other one didn't have a filter, and yet it got dirty really fast, but probably not as fast as the filter will in this one. But as long as the filter's getting dirty and keeping the aquarium clean, the aquarium will probably stay as clean as for as long as it possibly can, for as long as until you change the tank a week or so later when it needs to be changed. There's that baby. There's the baby snail. We're gonna have to get him a little shell real soon. I'm starting to wonder if there's multiple. Like, if there's not only just one baby in there, but a couple. Hey, you. Stop it. The one thing about my beta is that he will try to nibble on the snails, but it's not very common. I've just fed them recently, so he'll probably stop. That's the good thing about... He's a good boy. That's a good thing about this beta, is if you feed him, he will just lay off the rest of the guys and just eat the food he's supposed to be eating. But let me zoom in on this little guy, if I can. What you're seeing right now, not the little green leaf up there, but this thing. That little spot. That is a baby snail. It's so small. Look at it compared to Gary. Gary the mother. It is tiny. But yeah. That is a tiny baby. And it's way smaller than when I saw Turbo, so I don't know if Turbo outgrew his shell, and maybe we just need to get him new shells ASAP, or if there's actually multiple snails in there of different sizes, like babies. Like, I'm starting to think that I'm starting to see different size shells. I'm starting to see little teeny snails crawling on the, like, not like all together, just at different times. I'm starting to see like a shell peek somewhere, but it seems different size to where I saw it last time. But then now I'm seeing this where the baby snail is crawling, and I can't tell if he actually has a shell or not. I can't tell if he has a shell or if he is naked. But we're gonna have to get him a shell. I can't tell if he has one or not, but either he outgrew it, or that's like a newborn that never had a shell. So now he's staying near his mother for safety. Something like that, I guess. But this is what's confusing. You see different size shells, you see like different size baby snails, but you don't see them together. You only see one at different times. So are they all living in the little plants, or is there just one this whole entire time? And I can't see the shell from this side, or if he grew out of it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to eventually get like little snails in the future, like shells in the future, and see if how many pop out to crawl in their new homes. Like different size shells, so whenever they're older, they can just grow into them. Yeah. See, it moved. The little baby. It's up there now. It's just literally crawling. Maybe I can put a couple LG wafers in there for him. Hang on one moment, please. Oh, by the way, this is my catfish. Oh, another catfish. LG wafers. Alright, I put a few pellets in there. And there's one right there. They all sink to the bottom. Oh, there goes another one. Yeah. They all floated down now. They all sink down. But my bag of wafers are in front of my Switch right now. And yeah. I guess this is my little family of fish, or little town home of fish, house, town fish, aquarium. It's a lot bigger than what I've had. Like, the funny thing is, it's a small aquarium, but it's huge to me. Especially because I wouldn't be able to fit in any bigger of a tank in here. My room is a mess. But yeah, eventually I will, but even if I clean it, it's still gonna be a mess because there's so much stuff in here. So, like, it can be clean and it's still a mess because there's a lot of crap down here. So, if I had a bigger aquarium, it would be out in the family room. Which, maybe in the future, that will be a possibility. I guess you never know. And that's not a bad idea, actually. I just want to actually be able to use this thing. This little part is separated from the rest of the lid. This is the LEDs. Just switch it. This is the nighttime mode, daytime, and then the middle is off. Crap, that's off. But that's probably scaring the crap out of the fish, as you can see, so I'm gonna stop that. If I open this up, the lights will literally fall off. Like, they couldn't even put joints in there or anything. I had to hold this LEDs with tape. Kinda sad, but that's the only problem with it. This is a really cool tank. There's supposed to be a lid here that, like, a little part that you just slide in there, and then you open it up, and it gives you the decision whether or not you want that to be completely opened or closed. The fish are too low, like, too under from, like, the lid. It has a certain line to where you fill the water. I have it filled at max, but the lid is far higher level than the water. So they wouldn't be able to jump out or anything. They still haven't yet, so that's good. But I like to put the lid on there when, like, for safety when I'm not watching them, but I barely ever put it on, so not very often at least, so it's never usually a problem. The question is, even if I could fit a tank out here, where would I put it? Where would I put it? It's okay. Right after this video is made, I should probably get cleaning. This is a mess. Dear Lord. Well, yeah, this is like a little short of me babbling about my new fish and my Gary the Snail and its Turbo and Turbo Junior and Turbo how many whatever turbos in there. If there's just one turbo, I have really no idea. But yeah. Now, before I go, maybe I should start talking a little more about what this stuff is. So you can see that, so compared to these two plants, not that one back there. The one back there, I mean, obviously because it's blue, but there's natural plants out there that are a variety of different colors. That one is like a plastic or rubbery plastic, a type that can be underwater and harmless to the fish. It's that kind of sea, like those fake plants, you know, those type of fake plants. That's the blue one back there, but that one right there is alive, or there's a few of them together. Those plants are alive, and I'm starting to wonder that even if they get even if they break off and start floating up there, if they're still alive, like that part up there, that little branch, looks greener than the rest of this. Is that even a word? But
No.
this starts to look a little brownish. Like the plants are struggling to grow, but at the same time, they're not dying. They're surviving. They're doing very well. It's like a little mixture of both, I guess. I'm hoping that they will get better over time, but they're not in bad, horrible shape either, so that's good. And then you have a couple little playgrounds for them down here. This is supposed to be a tiki bar. There's a little lobster right there, and you have the shark. Look at that. The shark shanty and the rocks. It's so mesmerizing and funny to look at the same time. It's adorable, but it's 2 natural rocks, and then there's the purple rocks to match my bedroom, because as you would know, if I live in Minnesota, I'm gonna be a Vikings fan. Minnesota Vikings, out of what I've grew up to, in my opinions, and I support my state in a way. Mostly, it depends on what you're talking about, but yeah, I'm a Vikings fan. But at the same time, we're all friendly folk here, so
Not really, but okay.
I will get along with anybody who's anywhere around the world, whether you like a soccer team or a football team.
We're in here, bud.
What is that team?
Have you even seen what's
I'd really
been
like it
happening
if
all over?
eventually someone posts in the comments when you come around to this video, when you eventually run off and see it. What football team or sports do you like? And what is the team that you like? Because for me, it's Vikings, because I grew up here. But what would you like? There's a couple guitars and a piano. Yeah, I'm continually recording because I'm just stalling because I'm bored and I don't know what else to do besides record. But I have nothing else to show you guys after this, so thank you for watching. There's going to be more in the future. Actually, real soon, because I'm making multiple videos in one night. So, yeah, if you like this and enjoyed this, leave a like if you want to. Thank you, and goodbye. Oh, and by the way, here's Bee's Knees. And now you know why I call him that. He literally looks like a little bumblebee.